Hi, welcome to Wisdom Talk. Last time we talked about wisdom being something that's always present in your life and always accessible to you. We spoke about it as something that, how did we say? It's something that is really contingent on understanding the principles. There are principles of life, just like there are principles of nature, there are principles of biology, there are principles of mind. And understanding this begins to give you access to your fundamental, innate wisdom, or common sense, if you will, your basic mental health. So here I want to talk about something which I think is very interesting. It's how things look at any given moment to us. That wisdom may not always seem available or seem present in our lives. And so this is how we can understand that. Imagine, if you will, what it's like to live on a busy street in a big city, and all of the chaos and movement and activity and the traffic jams and the lights and the sounds and the people on the street and the sidewalks rushing around each other, the arguments, the all of the noise and it can be crazy making, right? So it looks that way, and then there are maybe some blocks on the street, some street blocks, and maybe there are sirens, there are police, there's all kinds of noise in this world. But if you go inside of a building, you have the access to an elevator. You can go up in the tower and you can see different things when you look out from third floor, fifth floor, 15th floor. What you see when you look down on the street is quite different. If you go to New York City, for example, you can go to the very top of the Empire State Building, and on a clear day, it is possible even to see the curvature of the Earth. That's quite a different perspective. And if you can look down, you don't see any of the details that were previously just driving you crazy, so to speak. What you see from a higher position or elevation is more like a map than a busy street scene. And that's how it is for us. And I would like to make an analogy here. I would call that the inside of the building, inside of the tower, I would call that being a human being. We all always have access to an elevator or a stairway, and we can go up and down. And going up and down to different levels, to different stories, things look different to us. And that's natural. When we are functioning on a lower level, all we have access to is what we can see. We oftentimes forget that there are higher levels. Now, most of what we experience in the world of self-improvement is what could be called horizontal change. You move from one place to another by changing what you think, what you do, your habits, your patterns, your history. You adjust these things, okay? But there is another dimension. There's the vertical dimension. And when your level of consciousness changes, you have access to a bigger picture. And this is what we're talking about. More knowledge about your history and your patterns and your way of being is not really going to contribute a lot of transformation in your life. What will is having a dramatically different perspective. And that perspective is your understanding of how mind and life works. And it works the same for everybody, just like we said, like biology or nature or physics, it works the same for everybody. And so this is what we want to consider right now, is how life looks different from different perspectives. Now there are ways to step outside of the chaos of the details of life. And so I would invite you to inquire, how just do you allow your mind to quiet and begin to see something different you didn't see before? How does that happen? How do you get there? Good news is there's nowhere to go because it's all inside. But the question is, how? How do you step into a new way of being? And that's where we're going to leave it for today.